Hello to all of my survivors out there. Live from, can't tell y'all where I'm live from. Oh, okay, I'm live from my car. Okay, yeah, today's subject is, I was reading the comments, and Sky asked me to talk about the people that I've worked with in the industry. And it's going to be really brief, y'all, because I have to go work out. And so, like I said, started off my first professional job in the music business in the entertainment industry it was local, but it was a professional DJ who was on a very prominent radio station. His name was RP Cola. It's RP Cola, and he asked me to be one of the models on his album cover. So that was the first big thing. And then after that, I started doing shows with RP Cola as a dancer. And he opened up for Ice Cube at the Rhinestone Wrangler. I'll never forget it, in Houston. And Ice Cube saw that album cover. He was like, "Who is this girl?" This before he got married and all that. And so they say, "She's here." So anyway, they came and got me, and they were like, "Ice Cube want to meet you." And I was like, "Well, what for?" I was getting ready for the show. And like I said, in my previous videos, that I was like this Christian girl. I grew up in a Christian background. So even though I was around the rappers and I was in the fast, I was in the fast life. I wasn't a part of the fast life, coming up, being raised by, after I left my grandparents' house, I ran away at 13, being raised by dope dealers and, whores and pimps and stuff on the streets. It kind of took care of me, but I still wasn't like no street girl because I was hanging out with street people and I was hanging out with the rappers and all that, working for them and all that, and the DJs. I still wasn't a street girl. So he was like, "Ice Cube wanted to meet you." And I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" I'm preparing for the show. He said, "Man, just meet him." They forced me to go meet him because I didn't really care about meeting Ice Cube. I really didn't care about being around a lot of them, to be honest with you. I was just doing my job and wanted to get back to where I was. And so I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I know being around them, RP Cola, he was more professional. He didn't really do, hanging out, smoking the weed, drinking, and you know what I'm saying? He was more professional. I never had those experiences with him. He never tried to come on to me. He was like always a nice person. He was a gentleman. Like, Bushwick and Willa D was like that too. Willa D used to buy us peace and give us roses. He was just such a gentleman. But going back to RP, so I was like, oh, okay. So go on the tour bus, it's full, it's Ice Cube and all his homeboys from California. So I'm like, oh, I really don't even want to go on here. So I go on there, but he was very polite. He introduced himself. I introduced myself. I was like, "It's nice meeting you." He gave me compliments on the album cover. I said, "Thank you very much." I said, "Look, I gotta get ready for the show." He's like, "You're ever in California, holler at us." I was like, "Okay, cool." I got off the bus. And then I was dating this guy named Tommy Bruno, and he was a big time. He owned Studio 9.9 is a couple of other clubs in Houston. And so he was managing YZ at the time. YZ's from Houston. And also, he was managing YZ. So I met YZ now. I think YZ was my first professional. Y'all got to read the book, because me just trying to come out the rip in my head, because I worked with so many people. Anyway, I brought YZ to my high school, Booker T. Washington, while I was still going there, and everybody was like, "Man, Zan, you bringing the rappers." I think I was the first person at that school to bring a rapper to that school, a professional rapper. And then after that, when I met Ghetto Boys, and I met Big Mike and all them. Big Mike instantly became my brother from the Convicts. Big Mike, he had left rap a lot, and I don't know if he went to California to sign with Death Row, but I had went to California before he did, and there I was working with Jamie. Jamie is Michael Jackson's dancer at the time, and he was also dancing for Madonna. And then also I was babysitting Bobby Brown's son, Landon. Landon mom was with Carlton from the Cosby Show. Carl from the Cosby Show. They were our neighbors in North Hollywood. I was babysitting that baby. And then when Big Mike came, this for Snoop Dogg was even known. He hadn't even came out with 1 Nick 7 and all that from the Undercover Cop. I think it was 1 Nick 7 on the Undercover Cop. But, that song was on some kind of soundtrack. Anyway, Big Mike was in Hollywood. He's like, "Zan, come down to the studio." I'm like, "All right." I go down to the studio. It was Big Mike, Snoop Dogg, Warren G, Lady of Rage, and all them. Like I said, they weren't even known. So He didn't introduce them as, okay, this is Dr. Dre's brother here, Warren G. He just said, this is, he called them who they were. Oh, nice to meet you. Anyway, them boys there started smoking weed, and I wasn't like a weed smoker, so I'm trying to be down. I smoked the weed, I passed out. Big Mike was just talking to me about this a couple of months ago when I ran into him in Houston right before he did that hit song with me, Slow Rolling in the South. Y'all go check that video out. Anyway, he was like, hey, man, you passed out. They was like, man, your homegirl from Houston, man, she passed out. Said they was paranoid. They had to go get me some milk and stuff. And so I said, Mike, what was in there? Because I thought it was weed. He said, man, that was Fry. I'm like, Fry? Y'all gave me Fry? Man, I didn't smoke that. Anyway, so after that, me and Snoop got cool, and I had Tommy fly him down to do a show in Houston. Then after that, like I said, after the Ghetto Boys, I had met leaders of the New School, Busta Rhymes and all them, and I met them way before I had did anything professional in industry. I was working with Six Pack. It was a group that we formed in college at Texas Southern University. We went to a music convention in New Orleans. We met Boyz II Men, all them. Me and Wanye from Boyz II Men. We dated for like 2 to 4 years off and on, and there we met Busta Rhymes. And so when I was on tour and Leaders of the New School had opened up for the Ghetto Boys, they were mad at me. They were like, man, why you dancing like that, man? You not even that type of girl. And I was like, look, man, I'm just trying to do what I got to do to get to where I got to go. Went to New York. Then I appeared in Cool J Rap's video, On the Run. I played his girlfriend on the On the Run video. I did work with Raekwon the Chef from the Wu-Tang Clan, and also Chi Ali. I was the main dancer on MTV The Grind. I did GQ magazine as a model. I did Source magazine like 5 times. I appeared on Biz Marquis. It was not his album cover, but on the cover of the Source of Biz Marquis. I'm one of the girl models on there. I was on Apache's. That's Naughty by Nature people. And Queen Latifah and them people before he passed. R.I.P. to Apache. I was on the Gangsta Bitch album cover. I also appeared in the Gangsta Bitch video. I was high as hell then. I was smoking weed. Me and Tupac had the same producer, Shabazz. Shabazz was one of the first people to get murdered, and that whole Tupac thing really hurt me to my heart. I was really close to him. He was like a brother. He guided me in New York. Met Tupac when I was working at MTV. He was introduced to me by Shabazz. It was a great moment because it was just a trip. Everybody was like, you know Tupac? I was acting like, but I didn't really know him like that. I knew, we had the same producer, Shabazz. Then also, I worked with so many people, but the highlight of my career was working with Yaki K. She sold like over 20-30 million albums off of Pump Up the Jam. I was her lead vocalist and also her lead background dancer. She's also my sister. Like right now, she's still my best friend. Shout out to Yaki K. Anyway, it was with her. I was like, man, I never heard this girl and made more money than these people I work with, that everybody heard their music, and I had never heard of house music, and that's when I first got on to house music, and I loved it because I'm a dancer. And so I did that with her, toured on the Revlon, the Sidney Crawford Revlon tour. It was amazing. I worked with her for over a year, lived in the penthouse out in Times Square, had bodyguards. I had never experienced that, that type of level of success. Everybody's like, man, you made it. And I was just working. I worked really hard in New York. And like I said, when I was on tour with the rappers, it was like a whole different ball game, man. The promoters weren't paying them their money. They telling the fans to tear the club up, forgetting that we're still in the club. They're still in the club. The fans literally tearing the club up. Some of those clubs were raunchy. Some of the hotels were raunchy. There was a lot of complaining on the tour bus with a lot of these rappers, like they wanted to be home for the holidays. They wanted to get more money than they was getting. I grew up seeing a lot of stuff. That's why I never signed to no labels. A couple of labels had approached me in New York. I was like, man, I don't want to sign. I do not want to be a slave. I saw what a lot of my people went through that was in their music game and being signed to them labels. I'm not going through that. So, I just always been independent. All these things I'm telling you about, I did it on my own. I didn't have an agent, a manager, a publicist, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I just said, I didn't even have a label. I did all this on my own with just like a lot of hard work, networking. Matter of fact, the director, Guy Gillette, that did I Ain't With Being Broke, he also did the On the Run Cool G Raps video. And so he called me in New York. Then I met Doug. Doug was out there working with Yaki K's husband at the time. Doug had been working with Rap a lot. He called me while he was in New York and said, come down in the studio. And that's how I got with Yaki K. So Rap a Lot in Houston, they opened up a lot of doors for me. like I said, when I worked with them, after that, I started meeting people and kept in touch with these people. These people kept in touch with me, and when they was in New York, because I was living in New York, they'd call me. Like I said, when I was in California and Big Mike came to California, he called me. So, that took me a long, long way. And like I said, I was reluctant when I met Bushwick Bill, my brother, rest in peace. I was reluctant to doing that type of dancing because I'm like, man, look, I don't know what that's going to do for me. And like my brother Nick said, he says, Zan, it's going to open up a lot of doors. And it did. It really, truly did. So I've worked with so many people. I've done so much work in industry. I just did the Rampage movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson in 2017. It came out early 2018 last year. I did that in Atlanta because I had relocated to Atlanta. I did also, what's that movie, that show Black Lightning with China and McClain. I did a couple of episodes of that. I've done so much work, y'all. It's kind of hard for me coming off the rip. I know I'm missing a lot of it. I know I'm missing a whole lot of it. Oh, I formed Matarian Children's Network in New York, a nonprofit organization that I came up with. I named it after some of my cousins, Miriam, Ty, and Clarion. And I casted children in all types of productions with Denzel Washington, Anita Baker, Patty Austin, God bless her, rest in peace, in New York. Did a lot of major things. Worked with Stevie Wonder. Matter of fact, I was dating Edwin Birdsong. May he rest in peace. I think he died early this year, or late last year. I lived in Stevie Wonder's brownstone in Manhattan. Recorded a lot of music there. I worked with so many people. I recorded so much music. A lot of music I don't have because I was a runaway, like I said. So I was always from pillow to post. So a lot of my music all out there in New York. I have a lot of music all out in Houston. I know they're going to start putting my stuff out. You know what I'm saying? When all my house music come out and sell crazy. But y'all be hearing it. And God has blessed me to work with so many major people in the industry and to be able to travel and do what I love to do. I took a big hiatus coming back to Houston when I had my daughter. I should have kept working in that industry, but I didn't. I wanted to be stable with her. I didn't really want her around that fast life and stuff like that because, it could get kind of fast. You're dealing with a lot of shiesty people and you're dealing with a lot of crooks. You're just dealing with a lot of cutthroatness, and I didn't really want my daughter around it, and I didn't want to expose her to a lot of these people. But went through a lot after I had her too, you know what I'm saying? But it's all in the book. Then I started taking care of my sick mom in Houston, so I still was writing, and I was still doing Matarian a little bit at the time. Then I eventually stopped doing Matarian in Houston. I had some kids and had them perform at the Apollo. I worked with Tiana Taylor. I was one of her first, if not her first, one of her first dance teachers in New York. She was also part of Matarian Children's Network, my nonprofit organization, when she was just like 7, 8 years old. So, worked with a lot of people. God has truly blessed me. But yeah, my book Runaway is gonna be out soon, y'all. Y'all need to check that book out because I go in depth about a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And Patrick Swayze was on the cover of that GQ magazine. I think my daughter bought me and I couldn't find me in there. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. Until next time, you guys, don't procrastinate. Don't wait. Whatever you're trying to do in life, whatever you're trying to do in life, you can do it. Believe in yourself. Keep being prayerful and steadfast. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you're hearing. Give me a thumbs up. Put some comments down there. I'll interact with y'all. And just don't wait. Do it now. Until next time.